Hi. So I just took the longest time trying to figure out parking because that is just life in Los Angeles. But I finally have it figured out, and now we are going on a thrifting adventure. So I'm taking you guys along with me today, sort of a thrift with me, if you will. I also really need to figure out how you guys all film in thrift stores. Like, I'm about to get monetized, and I feel like the easiest way to get demonetized is to have music playing in the background. So trying to figure that one out. But I'm bringing you guys along. Probably not going to talk to you in public because I'm still not there yet either. Here we go. We're thrifting for trends, we're thrifting for vintage, we're thrifting for modern, and we're thrifting for just pretty much anything that's going to make me money. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started and see what we can find. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go! So I definitely did not get the courage up to talk to camera while I was in Goodwill, as I thought, but I thought I would walk you guys through a couple things. I definitely passed on a couple of things that I'm showing in the video here, which you guys will be able to see a haul right after some of these video clips. But I definitely was looking specifically for items that had like 1970s style print. That's supposed to be really big coming up this next season. So I was specifically going for these like kind of patterned tops and dresses. You guys probably already know that I picked up this dress because, yeah, there's no way I couldn't pick up that dress. It's absolutely stunning. The pattern on it, just, yeah, we're gonna get to it in a minute, but holy smokes, it's a good one. Definitely scored big on the belts this trip, which I don't normally find a ton of belts at the Goodwill outlet, so I was pretty stoked that I scored pretty well with the belts, and you guys will see that pretty soon. I also came across that spiritual gangster kimono that I talked about a few hauls back, which kind of cracks me up. These just seem to be everywhere right now. Consider this a public service announcement. Do not pick up the spiritual gangster kimonos unless you want one for yourself, because it's not gonna sell for anything. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely hit a zone when it comes to flipping through racks. I try and go with the grain of where the tags are located. Sometimes I'll switch it up and move direction, but yeah, for the most part, I just kind of zone in, look at the tags, and pass through really quickly. I actually find the least amount of joy in sourcing for jeans. I don't know if it's because I don't like photographing them. I just haven't perfected my photography skills when it comes to denim. But also, it's kind of a diamond in the rough trying to find high-waisted denim. So it's kind of just one of those things that I don't tend to spend too much time in the denim section. Oh, hey guys, that's me with my cheesy new little handheld tripod thing. I always hesitate putting this section in any sort of YouTube video just because I feel like, one, I really only look for hard goods for myself just in case I see something that I want to add to my apartment. I don't have enough space to store them right now, but I'm just terrified that I'm gonna show something on the video that someone's gonna be like, oh my god, that's worth like $1,000. Why did you skip on that? But I just don't have the knowledge around hard goods. I am no Loretta from Thrift Love Cell, that's for sure. But yeah, I definitely do enjoy passing through the hard goods section just to see if there's anything that I can take home for myself. Also, shout out to this painting. I don't know what it is, but I did kind of want to take it home with me. I didn't though. Hello internet friends, how's it going? I'm Laura, aka Shop Von V. I sell vintage and modern clothing on platforms such as Poshmark, Etsy, and eBay. So today I took you guys along on a little thrift haul and I thought I would show you guys everything that I purchased. This was one of the regular stores, however, I do tend to primarily focus on sourcing at the Goodwill bins. So as always, this was a little bit of a switch up for me. So I definitely tried to keep the continuity going and I wore the same sweater that I wore in the thrift video. However, Not gonna lie, you guys, it's been a couple days and I definitely got my hair done, so failed miserably on the continuity, but what can you do, you know? Okay, so as promised, I thought I would show you guys everything that I picked up on that little thrift trip. So without further ado, here are all the things that I said yes to. Okay, first up, you guys, have no fear. I did grab that dress. There was no way I was gonna say no to it. It is just absolutely stunning. This made the entire trip worth it. I just had so much fun photographing this dress. I am absolutely in love with the color palette, the gold, the lurex, just everything. You guys all know by now I am obsessed with lurex, and if you don't know that by now, lurex is just amazing and I love it. So yeah, this little beauty came home with me, and hopefully I'm gonna find it a fantastic little home to go off to. I do kind of wish that I had found it right around the holiday season, it being January now. I think this would have been a great holiday dress. But again, this is a 1970s showstopper number that just should not be left behind. So I didn't leave it behind. Next up is this 1980s kind of ruched, ruffled, printed maxi dress. It does have that sack style finish to it, which I also talk about from time to time, but I love fabrics that just kind of drape instead of give structure, and you can choose to give the structure however and wherever you want to give it that like fitted look. So I think this belted with a big chunky belt, which yes, I did also find a ton of belts, which is awesome, and I will show that soon. But yeah, I just think this paired with like a fun, funky belt, and you got the kind of ruched detailed shoulders, it's a good look. I absolutely love that the 80s is coming back around right now. I know a lot of people kind of turn their nose up to 80s style, but it is in fashion and I'm stoked to see that. So I talked about this a little bit earlier, but 1970s prints, like geometric prints and just different like weird patterns are definitely making a comeback this next season. So I did specifically keep an eye out for that. That was what I was really trying to curate while I was there. However, I did only really pick up one piece that had the 1970s print to it. But I would actually say this is like an 80s, 90s sweater. However, it does have that pattern that I was specifically looking for. So this next piece was a little bit of a risk because there is quite a bit of damage to it. I do need to do some stitch repair to the neckline, and then there actually are some pinholes that just aren't gonna be able to be repaired. However, this piece is just so beautiful, and the embroidery and stitching that they put into this, it's just such a beautiful piece. 1970s. It has, I almost want to say they were going for like an astrology vibe to it because it has a crab on the front. I don't know what, I'm not very good with astrology, so I don't know who the crab is, but that'll definitely be a keyword that I need to find out because this top is just so cute. And the pointed collars are huge right now, so still hoping that there's a little bit of life left in this beauty. Don't be as afraid to pick up vintage when it's damaged because a lot of people who collect vintage, they know and understand that it's not always going to be in pristine condition. In fact, I know some resellers who specifically curate their look in a very damaged way. It's actually just their like vibe or that style. There's just this like almost stained, weathered look that some people tend to gravitate towards. So don't turn your nose up on it. There's definitely a market for stuff that is like very well loved and worn. Next up, aside from that lurex dress that I showed before, I think this is another one of my personal favorites. This is a United Colors of Benetton. I would probably say 1990s, early Y2K vibes to it. It's a floral print pattern. I always pick up dresses like this because this is clearly what brands like Reformation try and knock off when they're creating that like kind of flowy dress style. And I think you can very easily turn this into like one of those vintage dupes, you know? Like this is an exact Reformation style, but it's the vintage version. And also like half the price of what you would pay for with a Reformation dress. And then this little number, again, Lurex, I can never say no to it, but this dress is absolutely beautiful. This is another one though that does have a couple flaws. Unfortunately, I missed like one pinhole on the back, and then there's also some like wear on the Lurex portion of it, but I just absolutely loved this dress. It's absolutely beautiful. So another reason I picked up that dress is because I actually kind of in a weird way wanted to challenge myself a little bit. Another one of the styles that's really on trend right now is wearing pants with a dress. So getting a style that's like kind of maxi midi length, you know, cuts off like right below the knee, and wearing pants with it. And I was looking at some of the trends, and some of them I was like, yeah, I could see myself doing that. And then others I was like, no, I don't like that. But I really like that specific look because it's a sheer print. So it still gives you the ability to, if you want to wear like a black bra underneath and then maybe some like high-waisted pants to go with it, you can still give it like that on-trend look. So you're kind of giving this like not quite well-polished style to it. So I don't know, I kind of played around with that look, and yeah, I don't know, I'm not quite there yet. I haven't quite taken it on and said, yes, I believe in this trend, but it is still a fun look, and it was a fun challenge to try and find something that I knew I could do that with. Okay, this is the last dress that I picked up. It's just a basic striped little dress. It's got the V-neck, it's a knit, and I think it's gonna be a great transition piece from winter to spring, just because it is a lot lighter knit to it, but I really dug it. It's cute. And then the last clothing piece, I'm sorry you guys, there's a good chance I'm gonna keep this for myself. This is a Liz Claiborne crew neck striped t-shirt. Madewell did a style of this t-shirt that I found once at the bins, and I kept it for myself, but then I got it under the light and I realized that it was stained. So I didn't end up keeping it, unfortunately. And then when I found this, I was like, oh, that's actually the vintage dupe version of the t-shirt that I liked so much. So I could not get it, and yeah, sorry guys, I think I might keep it for myself. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so last but not least, like I said, I got a bunch of belts, and I was pretty excited about that because I don't normally pick up belts. It's not really my thing, but I just so happened to take a peek, and there were some pieces that I could not say no to. As you guys saw in the video, I found a YSL Yves Saint Laurent little chunky belt. This, again, I talk about this every so often, just because the brand is printed on the inside doesn't mean that you necessarily struck gold. This just so happens to be like a fake leather pleather, so it honestly doesn't hold that much value. However, just the style alone, it is the 80s, it's chunky, and yeah, it's gonna sit high-waisted, so you can actually structure like that dress that I showed earlier. There's a lot that you can do with a belt style like this, so I was very excited to find this. So next up, I found this red leather snakeskin belt. It's from the 1980s. I never condone buying anything that is animal. I don't believe in it. However, if I find something that's vintage, I typically don't pass it up, just because, you know, it's something that it's gonna get tossed in the landfill anyways. It's already been made. We're already setting a precedence to not keep creating items like this. So I think as long as we keep talking with our wallets and not actually purchasing something that has been made recently, we can still continue to make that statement, and then also not just send this to the trash and make it useless. So that's why I went ahead and picked this up. Again, if this was a newer style, I don't think I would have grabbed it, but yeah. Okay, next up, I think this one is probably like a Y2K style, might even be a little bit more recent than that, but I really liked the kind of tacky bling rhinestones on this. I think it kind of has that like country western vibe to it, so I definitely grabbed this one. I thought it was so cool. Couldn't say no to it. It is real leather, and yeah. Okay, and then last but not least, I don't even know what the story was on this one. I grabbed it just because I really liked the stamps on it, and I thought it was very unique and different. And by stamps, I mean literal stamps. It has like these metal stamp pieces that are put on it, and then it's just like a strip of leather. So one says post office, the other one says British postage, and then yeah, they're all British postage stamps, but they're metal. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I need to look up to see if there's any story behind it. I highly doubt it. I think it was just something that was made by someone because they had the pieces and maybe liked the style. Yeah, it has someone's signature on it. I don't know. Sometimes I just find stuff like this and I'm like, can't pass it up. It's too fun. So that was it for that haul. Pretty small compared to a lot of my other hauls. You know, I'm very used to the bins, so doing the regular Goodwill stores definitely, I don't know if it feels like it slows me down a bit, but I definitely find better pieces when it comes to vintage clothing at the regular stores. So I'm still just as excited to go there. I think I've talked about this a lot recently. You know, I'm just trying to find a balance to where I'm doing a little bit more of both instead of just focusing heavily on the bins. So, also, that was part 1 of like 3 haul videos that I have coming out, hopefully within the next couple days. I definitely wanted to do them like back to back. I did another haul at the regular Goodwill, and then I also hit up the bins. So definitely look out for those. If you guys haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.